Hi, it's Nance here. Have you ever wondered what it's like to sit with somebody that's actually been burnt out through therapy? You want to know how to help them? Do you often feel helpless yourself? Well, then today's episode is for you. Welcome to Dark Side of Therapy with Nance, a show where we help younger clinicians learn the tools of the trade and just get all around better at what they do. So today we're going to talk about the burnt out supervisee. Now, in my career, I've supervised roughly 15 different people, which may not sound like a lot, but when you figure in all the time and the training of supervision, that's actually quite a few people. And if you do a Google search, do some research, you're going to see all kinds of terms for burnout, compassion fatigue, getting fried. I mean, these terms are out there. And really, they all mean the same thing. Not necessarily that a therapist is just done, can't take anymore, but that a therapist is no longer effective. I think that is really the bottom line, okay? And if you're not effective anymore, you really can't help people anymore. And this stuff is real. I can't quote every statistic right now. But in our field, the burnout rate is very, very high. I think in a 5-year career, something like 60-70% of therapists will burn out or no longer feel themselves effective because of what this does to us. And I don't say that lightly because I have sat with people that are burnout. I have sat with people who look so defeated, people who have cried, people who have wondered, how am I going to get ahead? And your heart goes out to them. Because what I want to do usually is rescue them from the pain. And I know as a supervisor I can't do that. I can't tell them everything is going to be okay. But to sit with it does create a lot of pain. Because you're putting a lot of emotion into these people. You're putting a lot of value into these people. And a lot of really good energy. And you want them to love what they do. And when they don't love what they do anymore, it is heartbreaking. And there's no magic fixes to this. I used to think the right words would fix everything. It doesn't work like that. Some people simply do get burned out. Now, I've always felt the best way to teach is by telling a story. So a couple years ago, I had a supervisee, and she was awesome. I mean, this is somebody that got their paperwork done on time, got their billing in, attended every meeting, attended every supervision session 10 minutes early, and you got to appreciate that. And I really did appreciate that about her. But here's the problem. I would get to work at about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and she had been there since 7. And she was the last person to leave the office, usually about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. So at the worst, you're looking at a 12, 13-hour day. That is a lot of time to spend in mental health land. And I would ask her, I'd say, why are you here so early? And why are you here so late? And she would say to me, well, I've got to return phone calls. I've got a children's assessment I've got to do. I've got the court over here saying we need this. And so the more we talked about things, the more I realized she was very driven by the process and all the little necessities of what needed to get done, dotting all the I's and crossing the T's. And so we would sit across from each other many, many times. And I would just look at her, and I began to realize I don't think she enjoys the work. For whatever reason, I think the work just took the satisfaction out of her. And I asked her one time, do you love what you do? And she said, yeah, absolutely, I love what I do. It's great. But I never heard, without provocation, anything good about the work. Everything was always steeped in the negative. You know, here's what happened. Here's what happened to me. Here's how late I stayed up. I think my marriage is going poorly because I'm putting so much into this. And it came down to, I said, I think the work is killing you. And that's not a very nice thing to say to a supervisee, but it's also an honest one. Now, I've not seen this person in a while. I don't know what she's doing now. I hope she conquered whatever demon she needed to. But that was as clear a case of burnout as I've ever seen. When the enjoyment is just not there. When nothing seems to be satisfying to you. And a really good example of that is when I would ask her to share something positive. And it would be very, very, very quick. We couldn't dwell on it. yeah, this happened, but let's get to all the other things I need to get done. And I've come to believe that one of the true signs of burnout is always thinking ahead to what you need to get done. Because do not think that's not going to show up in the therapy office with your client. It absolutely will. Here's the lesson. You have got to be willing to not be good at everything. And I don't think the supervisee was. I don't think she was willing to compromise anything. And so you end up compromising everything because you're trying to do everything well. Now, I'm not advocating for any of you who are coming into the field to be late on your paperwork. I'm not advocating for you to get behind on your billing. I don't want that for you. But I also don't want it to consume you. Because that's what happened to this person. Because guess what? You're going to be late sometimes. And if you work for an agency that's on your butt, they're going to squeal. They're going to say, where's your paperwork? Where's your billing? Okay? And the best you can do is say, I'm sorry, I'm late. And that's going to be the end of it. I've never seen anybody get fired because they were late with something. Now, if you're 6, 7 months late, that's different. But allow yourself the imperfections. And I would much rather see the imperfections in the structural part of the job than with the client. Another supervisee I had, and this is probably even a sadder story, because I think she hated the job from day one and never told me this. But I would notice as we got together for our team meetings and she had just begun her licensure journey, we would delegate cases. That's often something that happens in an agency is referrals come in and we kind of pick and choose who they're going to go to. And I started to realize she wasn't taking cases. You know, we would say, hey, we've got a case for you, and she would turn it down. And looking back, I'm not sure how she even built her caseload. But that was really telling. And there were a couple of clients she was already working with and wanted to stop working with them because it was creating so much stress, and even suggested that I come in and try to smooth it over, which is a very difficult thing to do. You know, how do you go into an established therapeutic relationship and try to get your supervisee out of the work? Now, I remember talking to her day in, day out, trying to find these glimmers of what might be satisfying. But like my other supervisee, it was always in the negative. But except the thing, it wasn't about things not getting done. It was more about just what the work was doing to her. I don't sleep anymore. I don't enjoy talking to people. I didn't enjoy this last interaction. They were rude to me. Something about the nature of the session, you know, caused me to get sick. And so you hear this enough and you start to think, yeah, this person either is not meant for the field, not right for the field, or simply isn't going to be successful. And I like to think we gave her every chance in the world to be successful, and it just didn't happen. She ended up leaving the agency, just and said to me, I can't take it. And of course, as a supervisor, you go back to what could I have done better? You know, what kind of supports could I have put in place? And I thought I had done all I could. And I kind of was left with the conclusion that I just don't think she was made for the field. Now, again, that's a harsh observation to make, especially when you are a student who's carrying maybe 40, 50 grand in debt, maybe more, trying to get into this field. Because if you decide you're not right for this field, that's a lot of money. You're not getting back. And so in these two instances, whether it's I'm not right for the field or I burnt out, that's a huge financial burden to bear. Here's the most helpful piece of advice I can give in this capacity. The love of the work needs to outshine what's wrong with the work. I'll say that again. The love of the work needs to outshine what's wrong with the work, because there's a lot wrong with our field. Ask anybody that's been in the mental health field for more than a year. There's a lot wrong. The deadlines, the way we're treated, the way clients treat us, the way the system treats us, the way the system treats the clients. All of these things are so difficult, and they can weigh you down. But if you love the work, and I truly do love the work, it can outshine those aspects. And I think some people just truly do not love the work. And having said that, this is America, so we will push ourselves to the edge to prove a point. And I know I've worked with therapists in the past, not trainees, therapists, who didn't love the work, but by God, they're going to keep going just to prove they do love the work. And I don't think that's a very effective way to do your job either. So if you do find yourself not loving what you do, it might be time to self-check, because burnout's coming. Burnout is coming. And I'd rather have you know sooner than later, so you don't have to go through the process of burnout and maybe put your relationship in jeopardy. I'm not talking about just your husband and wife, but everybody you know, because this work takes something from us. Ask any therapist. This work does take something. And it's so important that we take care of ourselves. In an upcoming episode, I'm going to give you a bunch of different strategies about self-care. My supervisees often get mad at me because I use the word self-care far too often. And I mentioned this in my course too. They say to me, I don't want one more thing to do. I don't want to have one more thing to add to my to-do list. And I say, you know what? I'm sorry. Because if you don't find something to compete with what you're losing in this work, then that's just lost energy. And it's gone. So you got to find a way to get it back. You got to find a way to get it back. So I don't want you to burn out. I want you to have a great career. I want you to have a great career where you're taking care of yourself. And if you ever do get the chance to sit with somebody that's burning out, listen to them, talk to them, be present with them, because there are a lot of therapists right now who are burning out, and a lot of them won't even acknowledge it. It's too painful, it's too embarrassing, it's too shameful. We have a lot of shame in this culture, but it is happening. So be present for these people. I want to thank you so much. If you like this video, please hit like, and as always, please subscribe. We'll see you next time.